Picking up where we left off, had a few hours to think this through, and what I'd done was I took the Fel-Pro 1003 head gasket. This is the best single layer gasket Fel-Pro makes. Notice the blue where the silicone bead is, and it's got a stainless ring, I believe is what this dictates for. I laid it on the cylinder head. I'm going to let you take a look at something here, and this is what made me have a little bit of a change of heart. When I got the gasket scribed, I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm going to try and zoom in. Alright, it ain't that this is bad, but when you're going in there and doing something stage 4, what I consider to be full tilt, you see this area right here where it don't line up with the gasket, and notice here how she stops. And let me try to get you a little bit better focused. We'll concentrate on one. Alright. Part of the trick, I want to zoom in and get y'all so close where you can see, but at the same time it kind of hurts me, so we'll go for this. Alright. Unbelievably enough, most of the airflow in the cylinder head, while I'm not taking anything away that the delivery system, the intake runner is everything. If you do not have a good release, which is chamber shrouding, it don't matter what you got, it's not going to get it in the bore. Well, after some serious consideration, there's just too much to be gained here, airflow wise. I've done testing on this, and I call it a Brodeck shape. Some of their cylinder heads have real good combustion chamber shapes, and what I'm talking about is this area. I'm going to have to back up, dad blame it. This area right here, this area here, you can see the material and then the gasket line, and this is to a Fel-Pro 1003, which is I believe a 4080 bore. I'm not sure, I'd have to look the spec. And this dive right here needs to be moved out. So basically the mods you make is you open this up, you start here, you pull that back, layer into that, and then you take this here, because man, at about 400 to 600 lift, you dig in here and you pull it back, and it makes a good difference. But here's your real killer. Right here is got this valve totally shrouded up where it can't release and go into the bore at the 100 to 300 lift range. This is the area of focus, which is your off throttle, snappy throttle response. To really put it into perspective, now remember, this is just a 202 valve here. This ain't the 205 for these heads. Look what we got here, and I believe it becomes pretty self-evident. Look now. Boom. Captured. Right there to right there. Now as we bring it up even all the way through, look at how close it is. I know that might not seem like much, but I can tell you, by doing this mod right here, and right here, and layering that back, can make as much as 25 CFM. And in some heads I've seen it make as much as 30. But I can pick up about 25 CFM in this ProComp cylinder head by doing these mods. Now on the exhaust side, it's not that bad. There's still some things to be done. So we got a mod here, and here. I'm not going to remove too many CCs. I'd say the most I'm going to take out of here might be 2, which when they go to their 383 motor, you know, it would actually help keep him at a street compression. On a 350, it's just going to be right about there. Like I said, 2 cc's addition isn't much when you consider the amount of airflow that you're going to get by letting this valve breathe. It's just, you really can't compare. Remember that around 65 to 70% of airflow restriction is this area here where you got the airflow coming in straight, and then it tries to go around the valve into the bore. That's why Chevrolet heads are canted valve. The Hemi head works so well. They figured out a long time ago it's all about valve shrouding. And of course the big block head goes up and to the left away from the side, so the more lift it has, the more airflow comes in. So I've had a change of heart. I looked at this, and the Denmark duo, Peter and John, have been really good and worked with me through this pretty well. So I think they deserve a little bit of extra effort. I am making more work for myself doing these chambered mods on both sets of heads. They're going to run me about 3 or 4 days to do them all, because the bad thing about chambers is you cannot cut fast. It is a process. You got to slow down the cutter speed. You nibble a little bit. You form the shape. Because, man, if you go in there and you try to do this in a hurry, you will mess up. You roll it. You chop a section of aluminum out. Then they got to be welded. Pretty good on this. But the main thing is you got to run a slow grinder speed and take your time. But the gains are absolutely worth it. Because what I'm trying to do is get these ProComps at a level where they're going to be pushing about 315 to 320 CFM at 28 inches. I'll take 305. If I hit 305, I'll be happy. 310 will be more in line with what I want to 315. The only way I'm going to get it is to take this, and this out. On the exhaust side, it's not that bad. Let's take a look over here. All right, here we are on our exhaust. Now, it's banked up pretty good right here. So from right here about, I'm going to come in here and chop that section out. And then from right here to here, there will be a lot cut out, and it will be laid back at about 15 degrees. So when the piston comes up, it's pushing against the quench. It's going to have about 15 to 20 degrees, the cutter, the way I'm going to lay it in there. And it's going to act like a direction deal to let the gases come and easier transition and go in there. But as you can see, they've unshrouded pretty good to the center of the combustion chamber, but here and right here especially is horrible. So we're going to alter that shape. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do one combustion chamber, and I'm going to let y'all watch how I lay that back and see what's going on with it somewhat. That's too much film time to do it, but I'm going to show you in bits and pieces how I'm going to go in there and what tool that I use to do it. I use a combination of 3 different tools: a small cutter, a small egg, a big egg, and my straight cutter, maybe a ball. I'll let you take a look at how I do it. So let's go over the combustion chamber modifications. Number 1, the valves go in, and this giant ridge, this hook, has to be eliminated all the way around. Number 2, there's a hump right here in the center. That hump has got to be dug in about 1/8 of an inch down and blended level with the top. You do that with both of the valves in. Number 3, the sides of the combustion chamber, this sweep here and this sweep here on the bottom. Number 4, the 2 sides here and up here where it is shrouded and is inside the cylinder bore. And then 5, the modification right up here at the top where it needs the swirl. I call it a swirl setter. It's pretty crude and stupid. I got one of my viewers on YouTube that absolutely loves anything to do with swirl. Well, dude, this is for you. I call it a swirl catcher, and it's going to go in, and we're going to lay this back, which is actually going to start from here, and it's going to go up the whole thing. I'm just not coming in at the top. That wouldn't do any good. You got to take my big Hogmaster burr and start right here and pull it back in order to catch that and bring that whole thing back. So we got here, 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 and there. those are our mods. I'll show you how I start doing it. I'm going to work through one combustion chamber and let you see the different tools and how I do it, and then I'll be having one set. I can go ahead and do it 15 more times. All right. Didn't mean to tell y'all I was going a certain direction, but it just ate through me. This needed to be done. I guess I kind of got in a hurry. I've got a lot to do, but you know what? I know it needed to be done. I can get the most numbers out of it. And the one thing Headbytes don't do is get in a hurry to get something out the door when I know something needs to be done, because that's the basis of why I started this, to see you people get your money's worth. So anyway, here we go.